Hi students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. Hope you are doing good. Hope you are safe in your home. Don't step out of your home unnecessarily. If you are having any purpose to go out also, wear mask and sanitize well after reaching home. So please stay safe. And in the last session, we have seen about our network cabling and all, right? We are seeing the introduction of your 12th syllabus, and I have given you some homeworks also. Hope you would have completed it. And today, I would like to give you some a small work. You would have learned it already. Last previous sessions itself, I have told you to go through the conditional statements and looping structure, which is in your 11th grade books, right? I have given you with the page numbers also. I think 315 and 321. I think you just refer it. The conditional statements: if statement, if else statement, else if statement, and switch case statement. In looping state structure, it is for loop, while loop, do while loop. And so yeah, I have given you the homework to write the definition of computer and basic components of computer. Whatever you know about computer, I asked you to write. And today's work is you have to learn that conditional statement and looping structure, and you have to write it in your note. Okay, in your note you just put the heading correctly: conditional statement. What are the conditional statements? If statement, if else statement, else if statement, switch. And then you have to write the definition of each statements, and you have to write the syntax and a small explanation, or you can write an example of that. So under each headings you have to write this clearly. Okay, this conditional statements and looping structure. Be thorough with that. So you have to learn and write it. That is today's homework. Okay, if you have learned it thoroughly, you just take your note, which I have asked you to take as a bridge course note. In that, you can just put the heading, and it can just continue to write this conditional statements and about this looping structure and all. Okay, during our interactive session, I'll ask you to show that a note, or I'll ask you to read it out. Okay, you just write it and keep it safe. Okay, and today we are going to see the introduction about open source concept. Okay, open source concept means it is a open source software, means this is developed by a set of programmers. They will add some changes, or they'll it's like they'll do some changes in the program which is present already, and that one they will again reprogram, and they'll check or they'll test if they are getting the required output which they need. That is open source. So here open source softwares are Apache Software Foundation, Document Foundation, Eclipse Foundation, Free Software Foundation, Linux Foundation, Open Source WAR Consortium, Open Source Initiative. These are all the organizations which is related to the open source. So here you will be learning the types of open source license also, and some about some softwares also we will be seeing. And then network simulation tool, that is NS2, we will see about this in this open source chapter. And then open NMS, this has three functional areas, that is service monitoring, data gathering, and event management and notifications. About this and all we will be seeing in this open source chapter. Here this is also a very easy and small chapter. After this, you will be learning about e-commerce. E-commerce is nothing but you are a commerce student. We'll be doing this. If you are doing this commerce through internet, means we'll say it as e-commerce. I have said you in our first session itself. Whatever, if you are doing something through internet, if you are doing it online, we'll just represent it with e. Okay, email, e-banking, mail. This and all will be explaining about doing the same thing in using internet or doing it online. So e-commerce means, from that word itself you can understand. Commerce means, you know what is commerce. You are commerce students. You'll be learning about buying, selling goods, right? Commerce, doing the commerce. So here we are going to do it using internet. We are going to do the sale or do the business through e-commerce, means that is buying and selling of products, or it may be some data, or it may be some information or services. anything. If you are doing it using this network or computer, means we'll say it is e-commerce. Okay, so about this e-commerce, you'll be learning the evolution, how this e-commerce, electronic commerce. Okay, e-commerce means electronic commerce. How this e-commerce was introduced, how this was launched, and about the development and growth also. The first wave of electronic commerce that was actually launched in the year around 1995. I think 1995 to 2003 it was a first wave, and 2004 to 2009 it was the second wave of electronic commerce, and now we are having the third wave of electronic commerce, that is from 2010 to the present. E-commerce are the third wave. Okay, and then we'll be seeing about classifications of e-commerce business models. I don't know whether you have learned this one in your last 11th standard commerce. I'll just remind you: business to business, that is B2B; business to consumer, that is B2C; business to government, that is B2G. So same way, consumer to business, that is C2B; consumer to consumer, that is C2C; consumer to government, that is C2G; government to business, that is G2B; government to consumer, that is G2C; government to government, G2G. This about this explanations and all you'll be learning here. I think you would have learned this in your commerce or in our computer also it's there. If you have learned it already, it will be easy. If you and haven't learned also, here you will be learning it newly. Nothing more to by heart. Only three words: business, consumer, and government. Everything will be shuffling, and you will get 9 points there. That these are the classifications of e-commerce business models. Okay. So about this e-commerce business classifications also you will be learning in this chapter with examples. That is, here we'll be doing it through online, right? So if you're knowing the concept of this e-commerce business classifications, here you'll just add a link to it. That is, you'll just link it through online. That's all. And then you'll be seeing the main e-commerce revenue models. E-commerce revenue models means revenue means itself its amount, right? So if you are going to earn something, if you are doing a business online and earning something, this advertising, banner advertisements, bulk buying sites, they all will use the users. If you are seeing, for example, if I say you are using Amazon, Flipkart and all, right? So the customers who are selling in a shop will approach them, and they will approach Amazon or Flipkart to sell their things, right? So they will take a pic of the thing and they'll give the description and the amount, and they will send it to the particular site. So they'll be publishing it publicly. So whoever needs that product will approach Amazon, and they will approach the product. So this Amazon will be the link for the seller and the buyer, right? So these things are happening. These are e-commerce, right? There some sellers are approaching them and selling their products, and we are, if you are buyers, we'll just approach them for some product, and we'll search inside that site itself and we'll reach the product. Once we reach the product, it's like reaching the seller, right? We'll be paying the amount, or we'll be booking the amount, we'll be booking the particular product. It will just reach the seller there, and the seller will be couriering, or seller will be sending the product through courier to us. So this is, it is like commerce. This is just selling and buying products, but since this is done online, it is e-commerce. Okay, so to this sites also some licensing and website creations, online shopping, many things are there. About this and all you will be learning in this chapter. So here traditional commerce and e-commerce has so many differences and similarities. About this also you'll be learning here. Traditional commerce means normally you'll go to a shop, buy something. If you need a chain, or if you need a dress, you'll just go to a shop, buy that. If you need something else which is not in that shop, you have to just walk, or you have to just go in another vehicle, you have to go to another place, you have to climb in, and into another shop, and you have to search. But in this e-commerce, if you see, you can just sit in your home and you can just search it in your mobile itself. If that particular product is not present in that app, you can just search in another one app, or you can just search for some other product in the same app itself. So this e-commerce will be easy, but will not know the quality of the things, right? Once if you are going to a dress shop and buying a dress, you will just know what cloth it is and how the quality is, right? So here in this e-commerce, you can't do that. So many similarities and differences are there. So about this and all, you'll be seeing here when you are learning this e-commerce chapter, and some advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce are also there. That also you will be learning here. Here one case study is also there. The steps to start a e-business or e-commerce is also given along with this chapter. And after this chapter, we'll be learning about electronic payment systems. This is a very important chapter. I mean, this will help you to know more about this computer application, internet technology, and also you will be having some knowledge about the payment systems which is done through online. Okay, here you'll have credit card, debit card, smart card, and many cards are there. So the correct definition of credit card: what is a credit card, what is a debit card, what is a pay later card? I hope you know that. Credit card means we'll just do the shopping. We'll just use the credit card and pay. But the amount is, if the amount is not in your account also, the credit card will pay the amount, and later after 1 or 2 months, you can pay it through your account. Okay. If credit means you'll have a amount in that credit card. Even if you're not having it in your account, you will have the amount in the credit card. Using credit card, you can pay. The next month when your salary comes, you can pay it to the credit card. So that is credit card. Debit card means the amount is in your account. If 1,000 rupees is there in your account, you can just pay with that 1,000 rupees only. If 1,000 rupees is there in your account, and if you are swiping debit card, you can pay till 1,000 rupees only. If you are paying it for 1,001 rupee means it will show that insufficient balance, you couldn't pay, like that. So in the same way, if you are having credit card, if you are having 1,000 rupees in your account also, you can pay for 2,000 or 4,000 rupees. Credit card will have a limit. If your salary is 50,000, you will have a limit of 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs. Means if you are having 50,000 in your account, and if you need to pay for 1 lakh means this credit card will allow you to pay 1 lakh, and in the next month you can pay the 50,000 to your credit card account. So credit means pay later. You can just buy something and you can pay later to the credit card. Debit card means if you're having it in your account, with that card you'll just swipe and you'll pay from your account alone. That is debit card. And the other type of card is stored value card. That means um, first you will pay some amount for that card. That means you will store 50 rupees for that card, means later you can use that card for 50 rupees. It's like recharge, for recharge and all. Now we are doing it online. Previously, if you see, for recharging, we'll have a card. We'll pay 50 rupees and get that card, and we'll use that for 50 rupees alone. Okay. So that is stored value card. And another one, smart card. Smart card means these all are nearly it, these all cards are said to be smart cards only. Here contact smart cards and contactless smart cards will be there. Some cards you will have to swipe, or some cards you will have to insert in that swiping machine. Some cards are contactless. Some Wi-Fi like simple will be there. You don't need to take and swipe it. If it is near itself, it will automatically debit the amount. So these contactless smart cards are not much safe, because you don't need to. If it is in your packet, also if someone is moving the device to read that card will automatically read it. In some cases, it will have a OTP there, or it will notify you in your mobile or in some app. So if you are giving yes only, the amount will be transferred. That in that case, it's okay. In some cases, the cards will be can be swiped from a particular distance, and in that distance, inside that distance, you will be able to pay the amount without swiping, or using, it's like a Bluetooth, or it's like a Wi-Fi connection only. So it will have a chip there. Using the chip, the reader will read it. So that type of cards are not much preferred nowadays. But in foreign countries and all, they'll have the separate security systems for this cards. So with that security, only with that person's knowledge they can transfer the amount. Like that, they have given some technologies, and in that way they are using this contactless smart cards. Here you will be seeing about this credit card anatomy and all. The credit card means it will be having a particular this size, width, height. You will have seen the normal debit cards and credit cards, right? So do you know how much width and how much height it will be there, their dimensions and all? If you are having any card, you just measure it and see. This, if that everything you will be seeing, studying here, the anatomy of credit card. In the credit card, um, if your parents or if someone is having any card, or if you need, you can take the card from net also. Simple sample cards will be there in Google. You can search it. Okay. So in your mobile also you can search. If you are getting any card, or if you are getting any card's image, you can just see what all are there, and write it down in your note. See here, you'll have a question, anatomy of credit card. That is an important question. In that, it will just explain about this credit card, the dimension of the credit card, this much width, this much height. You have to give the width and height in mm. Okay, and then the radius and the thickness, and then what all will be there. The emblem will be there, the credit card number, where the credit card number will be there, where the name of the person will be there, validity, valid date, or CVV number. What all is there, they have given as a answer for this anatomy of credit card. So if you are getting a credit card, you just try, put a number, one bank name is there, means one bank name, and two, and the next that chip, then next one, put a number and write that credit card number. What all is there, what all you can find it, you can just put numbers and write it. Okay, so about this credit card, debit card, everything you will be learning in this. Here, closed loop, open loop, that is single purpose, multi-purpose. Like this, two varieties of stored value cards are there. About this also you will be learning here. That means here, when you are using a recharge card, that is a closed loop, that is single purpose. Once if you swipe and once if you enter that uh, code there, the validity of that will be expired, right? So you can't use that for another mobile or another recharge. We cannot use that particular card. Some cards are for multi-purpose, that is open loop. Here, this is used to take the transactions from many retailers, that you can, if you are having 1000 rupees means 100 rupees you can use it here, then 200 rupees you can use it in some other uh, shop. Like that you can use it in different purposes. That is multi-purpose or open loop stored value cards. Closed loop means it is single purpose. So about this and all you will be learning here. And electronic account transfer, that is, without this card also we are transferring amounts using net banking, mobile banking and all. About this and all you will be learning here. Mobile banking also, mobile banking will have some secure technology used by the banking sectors to make this mobile banking and internet banking secure. So about these advantages, disadvantages, steps and all you will be learning here. And UPI, you would have seen UPI, Phone Pay, Google Pay, and Paytm. These are all UPI, right? Here, all the banks will be linked with this UPI, and using this UPI also, you will be paying. Here, global address will include the bank account numbers and IFSC codes. Local address will have a virtual payment address. So, using this MPIN, mobile banking, personal identification number and all, we will be using this UPI. UPI full form is Unified Payment Interface. Okay, you would have seen UPI everywhere. What is the full form of that UPI? Unified Payment Interface. This Phone Pay, Google Pay, many are there now. Paytm and many more apps are there in which come under this UPI. So this will help us to do our payments easily. Okay, and so today you would have got some idea about this internet e-commerce, internet commerce, that is electronic commerce, that is commerce which is done through online, and e-payment and all we have seen, right? And the next session we'll see about the e-commerce security systems and all. And as I said to you, you just go through the conditional statements and what else? Looping structure in that JavaScript or whatever is given in your 11th grade books, and you just write it down in your note without fail. Okay, before attending the next session. So today we have seen open source concept also, and next class we'll see e-commerce, security system, and electronic data interchange. And during this interactive session this week we will have interactive session, I think. So in this interactive session, we just inform me. So we have seen the introduction. Within tomorrow, we'll complete the introduction of this chapter. Let's start the lesson from first lesson. Or do you need any other basic? If you need to know some other basic things about computer, means you can ask me. After this interactive session, I'll decide what to teach. Okay, so when we are having the interactive session, by that time we'll be completing this introduction of this chapters also. So if you wish to learn the 12th portion from first lesson, means we'll just go a little slowly. We'll just start from the first lesson. Or if you need to know something from your 11th chapter, that Open Office Writer, Open Office Calci, Open Office presentation, the Impress and all are there to do presentation, to do a document, to do a calculation and all. Many important things are there in your grade 11 books. You can refer the last year's videos also. Everything is available in this channel itself. You can just search grade 11 computer application, like that. If you are searching itself, all the classes which I took for your grade 11 will be there. You can just refer that. In that also, if you have any doubts, or if you need me to teach any specific chapter, or if you need to have any specific knowledge about in any core, means you can just tell me in our interactive session, or you can just text me. The next session I'll just take the particular class, and after that we'll start our 12th portion. Okay, you can say me your opinion also. I'll take it. Okay, thank you for your valuable time. Stay home, stay safe, take care, bye.